This is the member's recent painting. The question is, how can we make a certain area in the painting stand out a little more? Ultimately, we want the baby to be the focal point, to stand out. Because the deity, the face looking at the baby, bring the attention into the baby. We have to think big connections. So like this, I'm gonna make a new layer first. Okay, and this new layer is gonna be multiplied so we can see the background. So make everything darker first. And what I want to do, I'm going to be here, just going to make the daddy's face to be lighter. So as I use the eraser to make it a little lighter. Now you can see that everything else compared with the daddy's face, and now also get the babies is coming out. A digital tool, it could be a good aid for artist study. Now take a look. Would the baby stand out now as well as the daddies? But maybe stand out a little bit too much. Let's take a look. So I'm going to have this a little bit softer, and now I'm going to have his clothing also a little bit lighter. So I don't want to have too much jump. May not necessary. Okay, that's good. I'm gonna make that a little bit lighter. Maybe the hand keep it a little bit dark, just like that. But this is still probably a little bit too much. Now we're gonna come in over here to take a look at this layer, and maybe we're going to make the opacity a little bit lower. Now let's take a look. If this gives you a big enough impact, maybe the impact's too much. So you're gonna make the judge. Maybe the background over here should be also lighter too. And make the environment a little bit lighter. So it's not gonna be that much of a contrast. And maybe I'm gonna blow it a little bit, and this a little bit, the texture a little bit too much. Okay. And we're gonna play with the ideas. Now, is that give a little bit better. Now we're gonna slowly bring things back to make it a little bit, maybe the whole layer should be a little bit lighter. Does that give you enough impact? You can continue playing with this. Like for example, I'm gonna make the babies have a little bit brighter color. In that case, I'm gonna have a new layer. Also going to be a multiply. So I'm going to bring a little warmer color. Get a little color to be a little bit yellow orange, was really bright. Okay, now I'm gonna come in over here, the brush a little bit bigger, but the opacity a little bit lighter. So now add a little brighter color in here. See that? At the top over here, the light that's a little bit brighter. Now the baby have a little bit more details. Now, because daddy's arm over here, the shirt, the clothing is a little bit cooler color. So we're going to make some blue color in the reflected light. So the bottom over here have a little bit blue color because this is facing to the shirt, and I also add a little bit blue color to his clothing as well. Just make it a little stronger like that. And now the baby have a little brighter colors. It would make the babies to stand out a little more, right? And also the daddy's arm a little bit too light, a little too much blending. So we're gonna create a little bit more contrast between these two shapes. So how can we do that? Well, I'm going to make a little darker brown color. Okay, I'm gonna see. I'm gonna make this a little darker brown color right here. And you have the reference. You can compare the reference to make a better judgment, better details. But basically, you don't want the arm to stand out more because in that case, it will compete with for the tensions. Okay, also the baby's arm can be a little bit darker over here too, from here. Like that. Now the baby is definitely the focal point. So the daddy's face, this side also need to be a little bit darker. So have the front over here direct the attentions into the baby, right? So I think this is good. The other thing I would suggest you to do a little bit cropping. For example, if I'm going to crop this, and maybe I don't need at the bottom over here have so much maybe not really help for what you try to express. So I'm going to crop in here. In that case, probably have too much of triangle shape over here. And maybe it's a crop in over here, make the arm a little bit incomplete. Let's take a look. I'm going to crop it over here. That's fine over here. That is fine like this. I'm cropping down over here, maybe like this. And I'm going to crop moving out a little bit. Let's see. Sometimes you crop in too much. It maybe make that too crowded, or maybe a little too, let's see. That's probably good. We're going to say done. And let's take a look. Right? Now the tensions go into the daddy's face, also directly going into the baby. Your eye could first land on the daddy's face, but the daddy's face is looking at the baby. At the end, the attention stay on the baby. Let's take a look at before and after. So I'm going to move this together. Now I'm going to see. This is before, right? You see the attentions is almost everywhere. You take a look over here. It has lots of tension over here because the contrast. Look at that. The dark color, light color over here. This is good. I have the graduate turning into the background. Have very soft edge over here. Over here also have a very big contrast, right? So this is not helping. Look at this is calling for attention. This calling for attention. This calling for attention. The baby over here also have some attention, but it's not as much attention that allocates into this area. And this also have lots of tension over here. This is yelling for attention as well. This is yelling really loud and for attention. So all this, they take away the attention from the painting. From now on, if you're thinking about how I'm going to make a certain area to become the focal point, everything else should be softer. In that case, you want to think big. Let's not think about local contrast. Think about global contrast. The global contrast make things simpler. And just say how I'm going to make the daddy's face and the baby's stand out. And everything else less. In that case, make everything less contrast. And let's take a look. After. Oh, that may be too much. In that case, maybe we're going to bring back a little bit more on the shirt. So we don't want that contrast that much. Okay. So now you bring back the tension a little bit. Maybe over here I have some direction coming into the baby. Right? Let's take a look. So there's the light over here coming into the baby. Like this. So bring up a little bit. I'm going to make it a little smoother. Now how you feel? So play with the relationship. Play with the global relationship between the big area. Simplify the whole composition to see how it looks. So hopefully this lesson helps you to start thinking about a little bit more of the global connection. If you have an iPad, well, it's the best tool for you to play around with it. It's a good tool for us to do the experiment. Continue having fun.